Listen carefully. Can you imagine that sound? A heavy speed graphic camera slips from a photographer's hands. For a split second, it hangs in the air. Then, a thunderous metallic crash. The camera smashes onto the hard floor. The photographer is devastated. The room falls into complete silence. Every eye turns toward one man. Standing just a few feet away is India's only Nobel Prize winning physicist of the time, Sir C.V.Raman. Surely everyone expects him to be upset. After all, the camera meant to photograph one of the India's greatest scientists now lies shattered before the session has even begun. Yes, the camera brought to capture the portrait of Nobel laureate has been destroyed before a single photograph can be taken. But what happens next? No one could have predicted. Every eye turns toward one man. Standing just a few feet away is India's Nobel laureate, Sir C.V. Raman. Surely everyone expects him to be angry. But what happens next defies every expectation. What happened in the next few minutes became one of the most remarkable stories ever told about the true mind of a scientist. Sir C.V. Raman reveals a lesson far greater than science itself, a lesson in calmness, compassion, and the true spirit of scientific thinking. This is that remarkable story I want to share with you today. A true story from the early years of independent India. A story that reveals not only the greatness of a scientist, but also the way a scientific mind responds under pressure. The story comes from the memoirs of celebrated Indian photojournalist T.S. Satyan, who photographed many of the most important personalities in modern India. The year was 1948. Satyan had only recently begun his career when he received what seemed like the assignment of a lifetime to photograph India's Nobel Prize winning scientist Sir C.V. Raman for an illustrated feature. Naturally, he was thrilled. Before leaving, he informed the legendary editor P. Joseph of the Deccan Herald about his assignment. Joseph was a titan of 20th century Indian journalism. He provided a powerful foundation for three major Indian dailies, serving as an editor for the Hindustan Times, the Indian Express, and the Deccan Herald. Joseph smiled, but his advice to Satyan was serious. Remember, Satyan, Raman keeps time with scientific precision. He dislikes disorder and does not enjoy being instructed or posed repeatedly. Be prepared. He can become impatient. Those words remained in Satyan's mind throughout the journey. By the time he reached Raman's residence on Sankey Road in Bangalore with his young assistant M.S. Satyu, he was already nervous. But to his relief, Raman himself opened the door and welcomed them courteously. There was no unnecessary formalities. His speech was brisk. His eyes were sharp and observant. As they talked, the conversation moved naturally from science to photography, from light to lenses. Satyan quickly realized that Raman viewed everything through the eyes of a scientist. Every instrument deserved respect. Every detail mattered. Then came the moment that changed everything. Satya was holding the large speed graphic camera while Satyan made the final adjustments. Suddenly, the camera slipped. For a split second, it was in the air. Then, a thunderous crash. The heavy camera slammed onto the hard floor. The metallic sound echoed through the room. Silence followed. Nobody spoke. Nobody breathed. Satyan's heart sank. He knew the assignment was over. Slowly, Raman looked at the shattered camera. His face revealed unmistakable disappointment. Then he spoke in a firm voice. Do you know what you have done? You have damaged a beautiful instrument of science. Notice those words carefully. He did not call it an expensive camera. He did not speak about money. To Raman, it was a beautiful instrument of science, a device that helped human beings observe, record, and understand nature. Damaging such an instrument meant losing an opportunity to learn. For a few tense moments, everyone expected the worst. But then, something extraordinary happened. Instead of remaining angry, Raman's scientific instinct took over. He knelt beside the broken camera. Gently, almost affectionately, he lifted it from the floor. The disappointed owner disappeared. The scientist emerged. Piece by piece, he examined the damaged camera. He inspected the lens. He checked the prism. He studied every dent and every bent component. He wasn't looking for someone to blame. He was looking for the cause of the problem. He was as though a surgeon had begun examining an injured patient. After several minutes of careful observation, Raman picked a sheet of paper. He began writing. Not a complaint, not a lecture, a repair guide. In detail, he noted that the prism had shifted out of alignment. He identified the damaged components. He described the dents that required correction. He explained how the optical alignment should be restored. When he finished, he quietly handed the handwritten note to Satyan. Nothing more was said. The meeting ended. Later, Satyan took the damaged camera to one of the Bengalore's finest camera repair experts, C.X. Lowe. Lowe carefully read Raman's handwritten instructions. Following them, he repaired the camera successfully. When Satyan asked how much he owed, Lowe smiled. I don't want any money, he said. Just leave the Raman's handwritten repair note. To him, that single sheet of paper was worth far more than the repair charges. It was a handwritten document from one of the world's greatest scientists. Though Satyan regretted giving it away, he gladly accepted the request. Several years later, Satyan met Raman once again at an exhibition. To his surprise, Raman recognized him immediately. With a warm smile, he asked, Is the camera working now? Don't drop it again. The stern scientist, who had scolded them, now laughed about the incident. In that brief moment, Satyan saw another side of Raman, a man whose discipline has balanced by kindness and whose seriousness was softened by humor. What can we learn? This story is not really about a broken camera. It is about a remarkable way of thinking. Most people react to accidents with anger. Scientists react with observation. Most people look for someone to blame. Scientists look for the cause. Most people stop at the problem. Scientists move toward the solution. That is why the incident has been remembered for nearly 80 years. The broken camera became more than a damaged instrument. It became a classroom. And Raman became more than a Nobel laureate. He became a teacher without intending to teach. This remarkable incident offers timeless lessons for all of us. Respect your tools. Whether they are books, laboratory instruments, computers, or digital devices, they are your partners in learning. Be disciplined and careful. Good habits prevent unnecessary mistakes. Stay calm when problems occur. A clear mind is the beginning of every solution. Focus on solving problems rather than blaming people. Every failure can become a valuable lesson. Observe carefully. Many great discoveries begin by noticing what others ignore. Remain curious. Every question is the first step toward discovery. Develop resilience. Challenges often become stepping stones to success. Practice honesty and integrity. Scientific excellence rests upon truth and responsibility. Remember that science is not merely a collection of facts, it's a way of thinking, a discipline of the mind, and an attitude toward life. Great scientists are remembered not only for their discoveries, but the way they respond when things go wrong. May this remarkable story inspire all of us to face every challenge with patience, curiosity, and integrity. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating and inspiring stories from the history of science. I love to hear your thoughts. What was your immediate reaction to this story? Share your comments below. Until next time, stay curious, keep observing, and never stop discovering. Thank you and see you in the next story.